Packers were back on the field for their final open practice of training camp today. They just have one more practice before we face off with Seattle at home to close out the preseason. Then we've got a bye week essentially after that before the regular season kicks off. But kind of light day for the highlights coming out of it. It was a hot day in Green Bay. I mean, seriously hot. And it looked like there was a little bit less of a turnout for the practice than we've seen in other days where the weather's been a little bit more favorable and a little bit more going on at practice. Ultimately, it was a padded practice for the Packers, and we did see, unfortunately, a few guys go down throughout this practice. No real timeline or further details on it, but for instance, Anthony Johnson Jr., Andy Herman called out that it didn't really look like he looked right from the jump getting out there, but he did leave and did not return. Looked like he was kind of limping apparently. Savage also dropped out of practice early, as well as Devontae Wyatt. But really, you're looking at that as two safeties dropped out of this practice in an already very tight safety race to see who's going to start. So hopefully we get some word about that before the preseason game on Saturday, but we'll be closely watching the safety position in particular with this because of the tight race that there is for that starting job. Essentially 4 guys, possibly 5, legitimately competing for the starting spots there. David Bakhtiari was out for another practice today. We did see Walker playing in his spot again, and the rest of the line remained intact essentially there. An interesting change in the ones, at least to start out the team period, was Malik Heath got some run alongside Christian Watson with that first group. So he's had a nice camp. I think they're just giving him some opportunities to get out there with the ones, work some of that chemistry with Jordan Love. I do think he's got a strong case made to make this 53-man roster. But I mean, what do you think? Do you think we're going to keep 6 or 7 receivers? Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think as far as that goes. I think 5 are a lock. I think it's going to be 6 or 7, but I'd be curious to see what your thoughts are as well. While we're on the topic of receivers, Grant DuBose made an outstanding play on a double move that he was able to beat Innis Gaines for a touchdown. Clifford also followed that up. This is in the 2-minute period. With a 2-point conversion to Deuce Watts there as well. When Jordan Love was out there, he was delivering the ball very nicely today from all accounts. He hit a 60-yard touchdown to Jayden Reed. Then he also hit him on a couple more crossers. Reed, I think, is going to have a very predominant role in this offense, especially operating out of that slot and showing some of his versatility as an overall receiver. Love also went out there and on a drive where they started out 17 seconds left, ball on the 20-yard line, scores tied 0-0, no timeouts. And on the first play of that, he hits an absolute strike to Luke Musgrave for a touchdown at the back of the end zone. Musgrave had previously in the practice had a similar play at the back of the end zone that Love dropped a nice dime over the safety, but Musgrave wasn't able to get both feet down. On this particular play, he did and finished the drive with that touchdown. And then Andy Herman talked about one other play that Jordan Love absolutely just wowed him. And it was a crossing route that he threw to Tucker Kraft. And on that play, he delivers a nice ball to Tucker Kraft, but it was essentially a no-look pass from what Andy said. So he was able to freeze the linebackers by looking them off and no-look pass to Tucker Kraft, which gained about a 30-yard gain for the offense. But separate from that, in one of the 2-minute periods, Love did unfortunately throw an interception. It was a nice stop route that he had Romeo Doubs on, but Rasul Douglas, veteran savvy, was just sitting there squatting on this route. And as soon as, he had Doubs start to make that break and turn around on the stop route, Rasul just broke on that ball and really contested catch situation, battled that ball away from Romeo Doubs and took the interception going the other way. But apart from that, Love did look pretty solid throughout the day by all accounts, and just steadily building on things, moving forward and progressing, not making a whole lot of mistakes out there. taking what the defense is giving him, and I think that's going to be enough to keep this team in games throughout the season. But that's all we had from today's practice. Make sure to stick around, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss another video, and we'll catch you on the next one.